Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to our class. I'm your instructor Adil Raza, and today we have to go through an SLO from grade 6 unit 7, and it's our SLO from the competency of reading and critical thinking. So let's find out what our today's topic or SLO is. So we have a competency of reading and critical thinking, and it is lecture 4B of our unit 7. And what is the topic? In this topic or in this SLO, in today's lecture, we will understand how to comprehend questions. So you guys have listened about the questions, what the questions are. You guys already have attempted many type of questions. So today we will discuss about such how to understand the questions, how to comprehend the questions, and how we attempt such type of questions or different types of questions in a correct way or in a better manner. So let's find out what the SLO is. Apply strategies to comprehend questions by marking keywords, verbs, and tenses in literal, factual questions and tag questions. So our SLO is about comprehending the questions. So in this lecture or in this SLO, we will try to understand how to comprehend a variety of questions. So here is the vertical linkage, go through it. Let's go to the brainstorming activity. So what is our brainstorming activity? What is the prompt of brainstorming? Let's find out. Have you ever attempted any question? Definitely yes. I hope you guys have attempted questions in different exercises or in different classes. How do you understand questions? So the main matter of discussion or main thing to think is that how you understand the questions. When we have to understand the questions, what we have to look at? Either we have to look at the content of the question, the words used in the question, or such type of things. So we are already attempting the questions and we are already understanding the questions, but in this lecture, in this SLO, we will find what is our process to comprehend a question, what are the steps from which we can understand any question. So here are the steps. Let's find out what these steps are. So for the sake of comprehending the question or for the sake of understanding the question, what we have to do, we have to follow at least 3 steps. There are number of steps and there are number of strategies to understand the question, but these 3 are actually the base of understanding the question. First one is to identify or mark the keywords, and second one is to identify the verb, because verbs are actually the action words and they tell us about actions, and by understanding the verbs or through the identifying the verb of a question, we easily can get to know about what the action the author or the asker is asking for, what the asker is asking for in the question. And third step is determine the tense. So through following this process, we can identify the questions, we can understand the questions. So let's find out what the first step is. So our first step is identifying the keyword. So firstly we have to understand what is meant by a keyword. So through the understanding of the keywords, we will be able to identify the keywords in a question. So a keywords are the most important words in a question. They often consist of question words. So what are question words? These are the question words: who, what, where, when, how, why. So these are the question words. They are also considered as the keywords. So firstly, the question words come under the category of keywords. Secondly, the action words or the verbs, we can say that. Thirdly, the naming words. Naming words, you know that the name of a person or a thing is considered as the naming word. And lastly, describing words. So describing words, action words, naming words and the question words are considered as the keywords. Through the identification and understanding of these keywords, we can understand and comprehend questions effectively. So let's take an example. there is an example. Firstly, there are keywords written which are considered as the question words. We have go through them. Let's find out a question. The question is that what is the capital of France? So here we have to find out the keyword. Firstly, we have to identify the question word. So there the question word is what, the verb is. So capital is a describing word, and there is also a naming word France. So understanding these keywords, there are three keywords in this sentence, and through the identification of these three words we easily can understand the question. So we know that France is a noun, we know that capital is a describing word or a adjective for the France, and we know that what is a question word, which means he want to ask about something, okay, what that is or what a thing is. So through understanding the keywords we can identify, we can comprehend the question. So if you know the meaning of these three words, if you get familiarity with these three words which are the keywords of the question, you can easily understand the question. So let's go further. We have the second step. What is the second step? The role of verb in the question. So verbs indicate what the verbs do in the question, because the second step is to indicate the verbs, to identify the verbs. So verbs are actually considered as the action verbs, action words. So verbs indicate the action or a state in the question. So most of the time in the questions, the asker ask about some action or some state which is happening or not happening, which is or not is. So here is the example. The question is that did you see the movie? So here the see is did, and see, the both are the verbs, and these verbs indicating a action, because seeing is an action, and through the identification of the verb and through the indication of the verb we definitely get to know that the questioner, the asker, is asking for a particular action, either the action is happening or not. So with the understanding or with the marking or identification of the verbs we can easily get to know what the question is about. It is about a state, or it is about an action, or it is about something else. So the second step is done, and we have an understanding of the question now more than the previous understanding. So let's go further. There is the third step, and what is the third step? The third step is about the tense. You guys know that the tense is actually the time which is indicating in the language. So we have to identify the tense. Either the question is from the present, past, or the future. So tenses in questions show time, past, present, and future. Like there is an example. If the question is about the past tense, did you go? And if the question was about the present, are you going? And if the question is from the future, what it will be? Will you go? So the question words and the verbs are actually indicating the tense. With the help of identifying the tense we can easily get to know what the question is about. Either the question is about the past, either the question is about the future, or the question is about the present. If the question is in the present form, we have to attempt the question in the present form through the using present tense. And if the question is about the past event or about the past action, so we have to attempt the question in a past manner. So the tense is very important to understand a question, and for the sake of giving a better answer we have to identify the tense is. So let's recall what we have learned. Here we have learned how to understand question, and we go through the three steps to identify or understand or comprehend the question. So through the following these three steps we can comprehend the questions easily. We have some examples, and you guys definitely apply these steps to the questions which are mentioned in your book. So let's find out. There is an other type of question, a very small type or tiny type of questions which are considered as question tags. So what are the question tags? The question tags The tag questions or the question tags are short questions added to a statement to confirm information, like example, you are coming, aren't you? So aren't you is actually a tag question. So tag question are not the proper questions or the complete questions consist upon a statement. They are actually associated with a statement at the start or at the end to confirm something, like isn't, aren't, couldn't. So such type of questions are considered as question tags. They are very easy to understand and they are very common in English language. So I hope you guys understand what we have learned today and how to comprehend the question. So let's go to the classroom activity. Here in the classroom activity, you guys have a number of questions, and what you guys have to do, you have to apply the strategies of understanding the questions. You have to identify firstly the keywords. So what are the keywords? It is a keyword in this question, what is bribery, and it is a keyword bribery because it is a naming word and it is a question word. And third thing, we have to identify the verb. So it is a verb. So we can understand the question if we have an understanding of these keywords. So you have to apply the strategies or the process which we have learned today to comprehend the question to these questions and understand this question, and now then attempt this question in a better way. So let's go further. We have a simulation. Through this simulation, you guys will definitely enlarge your understanding about the comprehending question, what the questions are, how to understand questions. Let's go further. What we have next? We have a worksheet. Pause the video and attempt this worksheet according to the knowledge of your SLO. So what we have next? We have a homework. In this homework, you guys have to attempt these questions, which are actually one is while reading question and second, they both are the while reading questions. And what you guys have to do, you have to apply the knowledge of your understanding the question, the SLO which you have learned today, apply on these questions and try to understand what the asker is asking for in this question, and then attempt these questions, write the answer of this question. Let's go further. Here is the resource pack which will help you to achieve your SLO in a better way and which will help you to understand the skill of this SLO. I hope you guys understand what the lecture was about. I hope you guys understand what the SLO was and you have a better understanding how to comprehend the questions. If you find any issue, any doubt, any confusion, you can ask in the comment section, and also you can ask from your teacher. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.